Hey, good morning, guys. It is me, and it is a dreary Tuesday, and I'm heading to work. And I wanted to do a quick video this morning because I was really kind of jazzed up this morning. I went to the gym, I worked out, I did my full workout. I was blessed to have someone um, move their appointment from 10 o'clock to 11 o'clock, so I had no excuse this morning not to do a full workout. So so I did, and it's funny, and I know you guys. I got a lot of people who say, you're so positive, it's sickening, and I had a friend tell me that yesterday. I was just cracking up. But part of that is because I have to motivate myself, and who can motivate themselves when they can't even smile, you know, when you're so negative that you're talking yourself out of just getting out of bed. I mean, so when I get up, you guys know, I mean, and I like sleep. I love sleep. But I'll start off. I told you, like, I'll start off with a quick 5 minute, motivational video in the morning while I'm laying in bed, to get me going because your mind is so powerful. That's why I love what I do, because I know, regardless of your physical, environmental circumstances, if I can get your mind to click in the right direction, everything else will fall into place. Everything else will fall into place. And so, this morning I was listening to a video while I was working out because I'm constantly arguing with myself. Um, because I was texting my trainer and I was like, okay, step one, go to the gym. Step two, get out of the car and get in the gym. And she was cracking up, saying, go ahead and move, get out there, William. Um, but as I was working out, I'm constantly arguing with myself to do the whole workout, which is why I listen to all kinds of motivating things while I'm doing things that suck. Okay, it's just the bottom line. It sucks. It's painful, it's uncomfortable. I'm sweating, I'm breathing, but at the same time, it's like I'm being reborn. It's like it's my coffee in the morning. So I'm sitting here and I'm listening to this guy David Goggins. You guys got to check him out. He's insane, and he starts talking about this method he has, this strategy he has called taking souls. And at first I'm like, oh, this cat is demonic. Like, what is he talking about? But what he meant was, okay, so the example he gave, one of the examples was, is he's in SEAL training, and I think it was like he was talking about the third week, and everybody's freezing, they're shivering, they're weak, they're tired, and one of the routines is that his team had to hold the boat over their heads and carry it, and so everybody is exhausted, and they're guys are, we're competitive, so they're competing against the other SEAL teams in the training. And so Mr. Goggins said, okay, guys. He's telling his team, we're gonna take the soul out of everybody else, out of our competition. And they're like, what are you talking about, man? And he said, we're gonna take the soul from him. And so he said, we're gonna do boat push-ups, you know. And what that is while they're holding the boat, they would toss it up and catch it. And so they start doing that, and they start screaming, "You can't hurt me! You can't hurt me! You can't hurt me!" And the other teams start watching this, and he said you could see their heart just melt. And from then on, his team ruled because they took the heart out of it. They took the heart out of their competition. And so I was thinking about that. I said, okay, so I'm in counseling, and I do a lot of things with the psychology of the mind and da 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 da. And I understand that I have different voices in my head. Not that I have multiple personalities, technically, but I understand that I have clear voices that just want me to be comfortable, that just want me to be lazy, that just want me to procrastinate, that follow everything that I'm afraid of, and will talk to me into running away. So I got all these voices, saying, okay, well, you've done enough. You can go home now. And so I started talking to myself. I said, you know what? I'm listening to this cat, Mr. Goggins. I said, you know what? I need to start taking the soul out of my adversity, out of the voices that want me to quit. And so instead of ending my workout early, I started doing extra. And I said, okay, so I get done. Everything is quivering on me. For those of you guys who work out, when you work out so hard, your arms and legs will start to shake because you have taken yourself to muscle failure, which is what you want to do. And so I finish, and then here comes another voice because I haven't eaten breakfast, and I always have these two choices. Go home, make yourself a healthy meal, or what I have done more times than I want to admit, I will go to Burger King and I'll get, whatever, egg McMuffin, biscuit, whatever, that's delicious. I mean, I love breakfast. Okay. I love hash browns, bacon, fried potatoes, cheesy eggs. I love all that stuff. And that's a problem. That's a problem because I don't need it. It's a bunch of empty calories, so I would make excuses to justify because and right now we're at the apartment and there's no ice maker there, and I love cold water in my water bottle, right? So I would make the excuse of going to Burger King to get a large cup of ice, you know, but I would use that to also get me an egg McMuffin or whatnot. And so I said, okay, you know what? This time I'm gonna just do something crazy. I'm gonna take the soul out of that spirit of gluttony and greed that I have to want to have a high calorie breakfast from Burger King. And so I went and I just ordered a large cup of ice and 2 bottles of water. And, and let me tell y'all, it was funny because that fat voice inside me started screaming. It was just like, Will, what are you doing? Will, you worked out hard. You deserve a large hash brown. You deserve extra bacon, cheesy omelet, sandwich. You deserve that. What are you doing? What are you doing? Just getting water and ice. And I started laughing. And I know the lady at the window was like wondering what's wrong with this cat, because he's laughing. And I'm just like, let me just, and I'm paying for it. I'm paying $4 for 2 bottles of water and a thing of ice. So then the other thing it's saying is like, you're wasting money. You should at least get some food with that. I said, no, we are doing something totally different. We are wrecking the program that I've had for so long to be dysfunctional, so long to use food as my comfort, you know. And I remember the other time that I've done that was when I was hiking. I was hiking with the guys from church, and we had hiked down to a waterfall. So if anybody decides to go backpacking, you should realize that if you hike down to a river, you got to hike back up to get out. Okay. So it was a good 3 miles going straight down to get to the waterfall. and I'm experienced enough to know that I got to hike back up this cat. And so we're going down. The waterfall is beautiful. And what's so sad is I was so focused on the journey back up because it's pretty much like a mountainside, okay? That I could barely enjoy the beauty of the waterfall. Okay. Um, my pastor, he's funny. He's like, okay, well, you're gonna lead us out. You're gonna take the lead. Because I was well prepared to be last. Because I'm slow. And I see, and he said, no, we're gonna have you go first. You're gonna lead us, and you're gonna set the pace. And I was like, hell, why you do that to me? And so I said, okay. And that crazy part of me clicked. and and I put on my headphones, got my music going, and I just set the pace. And I said, I'm gonna kill this mother. And so I started hiking up it, and I just focused on one step in front of the other, and just kept going, kept going. And then at one point, he said, "Will, you're almost to the top," and I said, "I am." And then I heard kids playing over on the plateau because once you get to the top of the mountain, you've gotten to the campsite. And so when I heard that, And instead of me resting and feeling the relief of being almost done, I told myself, okay, you know what? We're going to sprint the rest of the way up. And so I ran my big behind up the rest of that mountain. And I just laughed when I got to the end, man, because it was just something that when you do something out of the ordinary, opposite of what your norm is, you can't help but feel the nitro burst of energy that comes with that. And I've had clients, I've talked to people often about, do the opposite of what your addiction tells you. Like when people are on probation, I say, you know what, go ahead and talk to your probation officer and tell them the things that you need to work on. I did it when I was at work, when we had a new supervisor. I told the new supervisor, and it was a suggestion for one of my other mentors, said, why don't you tell them what you need to work on? And so, when we met, because she's walking around meeting everybody, I said, well, I want to tell you all the things that I'm weak at that I need your help with to make me a better counselor. And so I gave her this list of things that I struggle with. And she was so surprised about that. She's like, wow, okay. That just makes my job easier. And it was funny because everybody hated me after that, because then the supervisor went around to everybody else and said, okay, Will just gave me his list of things that he needs to work on. What's your list? And so, I wasn't everybody's favorite at that time. But it wrecks my dysfunction hides in the shadows. Okay. It doesn't want accountability. It doesn't want to be exposed. It doesn't want you to do the opposite of what it's saying. It wants you to run away. It wants you to hide. It wants you to I mean, geez, that's why I got my own counselor, because I've been stressing with this whole housing ordeal and everything else that's been going on. And I started feeling myself slipping into depression. So I had to go get my own counselor. And I know y'all might be shocked about that, but, because I'm always so positive on here, but I'm not always positive. I mean, that's the truth. That's the real deal. I'm not always 100. Sometimes I'm like 60 or less. And so I have people in place as safeguards to not only hold me accountable, but motivate me to move beyond my feelings. And that's how you take the soul out of adversity. Okay. You do the opposite of what you're feeling. We cannot rely on our feelings to be our GPS, because our feelings, if you've been in a rut for some time, you cannot trust your feelings because your feelings have allowed you to be in that rut. So you've got to go absolutely insane in a positive way to do the opposite of what you've been feeling and doing for the past couple of years. So I hope that makes some sense. I hope you guys understand where I'm going, what I'm talking about, when I'm just babbling. And if you like my channel, please subscribe, because I'm gonna be here a while. All right. So I love you guys. I'll talk to you later. Peace, and I'll see you soon.